For people who are indecisive, this video is for you. I'm about to not only make the decision-making process more clear for you, but also save you a bunch of energy. And we know how much energy, decisions, and uncertainty can steal from us. So if you're indecisive, stick around. These next couple of minutes might just change everything for you. So, part of the reason that we're indecisive is because we can make it such a bad experience when we make the wrong decision. Now, this is particularly relevant for doctors because we know that the decisions that we make can significantly and extremely detrimentally impact other people. It can mean morbidity and mortality in some cases. And so we're very adverse to making the wrong decision because when we get a bad outcome, we are very quick to criticize ourselves and feel a great sense of regret, which is extremely painful. On top of what's an already hard experience, feeling emotions like regret and loss, disappointment, and the shame that comes with criticizing ourselves or getting it wrong, we can also tell a story to ourselves that we can't be trusted to make these decisions, that we shouldn't be making these decisions. And with that, we feel less and less safe with ourselves. We feel less and less capable in our lives. We have lower and lower confidence and lower self-esteem. It can be a lot. And while on one hand, it is completely normal, and there's nothing wrong with having negative emotions associated with an outcome that wasn't desired. What I want to do here today is start to clear up some of the unnecessary thoughts, the thoughts that are thought errors, the errors in our thinking and our logic that can create unnecessary, non-useful pain associated with that experience. And with that, as I was saying, by making a bad outcome less painful for ourselves, less threatening, less terrifying and soul-destroying for us, without that threat looming at the end of the decision, we will actually be better decision makers because of it. We will think with more clarity because these high stress, high arousal, highly self-critical states are not usually useful in terms of actually generating more clarity and more intellectual excellence. So here's my offering for you today. I want you to recognize the difference between a decision and an outcome. This is because one of the most common reasons that we allow ourselves to have such a negative experience and tell such a negative story about a bad outcome of a decision is because we tell ourselves, well, I should have been able to see the writing on the wall in terms of what outcome this decision would create, as if A leads directly and only to B, and as if the outcome shows us that we chose the wrong decision. We had a bad decision-making process. An outcome, however, is not only and directly the result of a decision in most cases, but it is the decision plus all the other uncontrollables and uncertainties in the middle before we produce the outcome. To judge the decision based on what the outcome is therefore not logical. And with that, if every time we get a bad outcome, we make it mean that our decision-making process was wrong and that we are to blame and that we are somehow bad or wrong or not qualified or irresponsible and incompetent, then we are not only wrong in our judgment, but as I mentioned, we make this process, this decision-making process, so painful for ourselves. And with that, we become less skilled and less capable in that decision-making process, to the point that some of us just become indecisive because it hurts too much for a decision to turn into a bad outcome. So here's what I want you to think about. Because of the uncertainties and the incontrollables between the decision and the outcome, a good decision can lead to a bad or undesired outcome. Let's put that on a chart here. So up here, good decision can branch off to bad outcome. Right? A good decision can also lead to a good outcome. But a good decision doesn't guarantee a good outcome. It can be good or bad. Now, at the same time over here, a bad decision can lead to a bad outcome, yes. And also a bad decision can lead to a good outcome. So for the sake of you improving and developing what is in your control, your decision-making process, I want you to recognize that these two things are separate. The decision and the outcome are different things. Don't judge your decision based solely on the outcome of that decision. Because I don't make this automatic default mistake of making a bad outcome automatically mean I must have made a bad decision. Even if theoretically I had the worst outcome possible, I don't then compound that already hard experience with beating myself up, feeling regret, and blaming myself. And what that means is I'm cognitively freed up, not only to experience the emotion of loss and disappointment and all those natural, normal, healthy reactions to not getting the desired outcome you wanted when you had an expectation and it wasn't met. But it also frees me up cognitively to take the next best step and make the next best decision from where I'm at. As opposed to when I'm in so much pain and I've had so much experience in my life of painful decision and outcome combinations that I don't even want to make another decision because I'm too afraid of how painful it will be at the other side if something that's out of my control or some uncertainty turns that decision I made into a bad outcome. Decisions in the setting of uncertainties and uncontrollables are hard enough already. Don't make it harder for yourself. Separate out what's in your control and what's not in your control, and use all this time and all this practice that you have in your life to develop really strong decision-making processes for yourself. I want you to love your decisions and let go of the outcomes. I want you to be able to trust yourself in these difficult, uncertain places, whether it be at the point of the decision or at the point of the outcome. And I want you to be able to take care of yourself in both places too. This can all be achieved by bringing awareness to your thoughts, recognizing what's true and what's not true, recognizing when your brain is feeding you thought errors, and recognizing what you want to think and how you want to think about this decision and where you're at right now with what you know and what you don't know, and what the outcome was or is going to be in this big, beautiful, uncertain, chaotic world that we live in. If you found this video useful, please give me a thumbs up so that I know it. Subscribe to the channel if you aren't already so you don't miss any of my weekly videos, and I'll see you in my next one.